let's go because we can't start the show unless Fred Rubino says he hates Candace Owens and wants to bang her. So let's go live to Fred Rubino for his Disgrazia of the week, my man. Freddie, how are you, buddy?
How are you, everybody? Geno, thank you for filling in. I have to take my wife to the doctor. She has high blood pressure, and it has to be dealt with today. So she claims I gave it to her.
Well, but you know, my wife hasn't said I gave it to her in quite a while. She's a feisty little lady.
Well, you'll see when she comes down with some kind of venereal disease, you gave it to her. Zoran Bondani went on this week at a press conference and started crying, shedding tears that at the press conference for his aunt who was in fear after 9/11 because she could not wear her hijab, whatever that thing is that covers their ugly faces. So she couldn't wear it on the subway, and she lived in fear after 9/11. And so he made 9/11 into this Islamophobia event instead of the murder of 3,000 people. But it gets better. The New York Post did a little digging, a little bit, and they found out that his aunt never, ever wore a hijab.
Are you kidding?
Ever. But it gets better. His aunt wasn't even in New York after 9/11 or at 9/11. She wasn't in America after 9/11. She was in Tanzania, which I've only seen it in National Geographic episodes, topless Tanzanians. Thank goodness there's still a couple of reporters who told him, hey, remember yesterday when you were crying over your aunt being Islamophobic and she couldn't wear on the New York City subway? We found out that she wasn't even in America and she never wears one. His response was not, I'm sorry, was not, you caught me. His response was, oh, I was referring to a cousin.
Because these are lying liars who lie. And when he said the day after 9/11, I was here the day after 9/11. Real New Yorkers know the day after 9/11, just like both sides of the aisle were holding hands and singing God Bless America, everybody, whether you're Muslim or human, whether you were Jewish or well-liked, it didn't matter in this city. Everyone was holding hands, singing Kumbaya. So that's a lie. Everyone lies. And the same thing is going in the two most important cities, or at least used to be in this country. This one right here and the one across the country in L.A. What a game last night where Gavin Newsom is running and will run for president and just has a campaign of lies saying, oh, he's on a show with two black guys. Yes, colored fellas, Joe. Two black guys. And he's acting just like Hillary did with the hot sauce, saying, oh, I grew up poor and I ate the white bread. That is more racist than any Tanzania joke Fred has done in the past 5 minutes. And he lies and says he was poor. Meanwhile, they're showing pictures of his yearbook where he won most most stylish. They show another picture of him with his 4 friends. 2 of them are Gettys. They're all lying. And let me say this. Any gay person that votes for Mom Donnie, I want you to fly to his other country because he has dual citizenship, which probably explains that third world country you were just talking about his cousin in I think it's Zimbabwe. I think that's where it is, where it's illegal to be gay. You're fine, Joe. Stay here. It's illegal to be gay. So he will not denounce he will not denounce his citizenship, and he will not sit there and talk about gay marriage as being legal or illegal, but vote for him. Vote for him and then get mad when a guy in his 50s or 60s drops the word fag and you're like, oh, that's so hateful. It's not. The man you're going to vote for is hateful. And the problem with this stupid city is Cuomo's a bigger piece of garbage because he murdered all the elderly voters that would have run on the Democratic ticket. And they want Sleewater dropout. Suck it. Your thoughts?
Let me just say one thing about what you just said with that whole thing with the gays. The gays, first of all, Nobody's anti-gay in America. Everybody is together. We all have gay.
Nobody is.
I always said, sodomy, don't bother me. But what I am now
I'm stealing that.
I hope you're feeling that.
I didn't say that this weekend in lockup. But at any rate, go on, Fred. Please. Fred.
So these people are against someone like Trump, who has been tirelessly giving them every equal right, even more rights than heterosexuals in some cases. And then they embrace a guy whose basic religion is to kill homosexuals. Now, so that's...
Amen. Oh, wait, that was a bad time to say. Yeah. Go on, Fred.
Now, let me tell you something. They think they are solving a problem in New York. And I hate to be one of the people who say, we got to do this and show everybody how we hit rock bottom. But it's going to get really, really bad.
Stop telling us that we don't like women. Stop telling us that we don't like gays. Stop telling us that we don't like blacks. Stop it. Because I'll tell you what people don't like. Us. Straight white men over 50. You're done with us, and that's a goddamn shame, because we've lived a long life and we know a lot of stuff, and we got here by liking people and being intelligent and speaking our minds and speaking it properly. So stop listening to woke children with pierced. Any woman with white liberal women are going to destroy this country.
There was a man who was accused of holding 4 people captive for years in his basement, is now charged with murder. Gee, I wouldn't think a guy like that would murder people. He seems like such a nice guy.
But the way you say it, is it one of those 4 people, or was he just holding them in his basement? What? Hey, stay here, I'm going to go kill someone. I'm confused.
It was another person. He had the 4 people in his basement, and what I gathered from this is that what he did was an old trick. We've all done it. You keep your elderly person in the basement who's probably a relative, and you just take all their, their Social Security, their pension, and stuff like that. And he did that to 4 people. But then when they caught him, they went, wait a minute. Did you have anything to do with that other old lady that was murdered near your house? And so now they're charging him with that. I'm getting to think this guy could be difficult.
But here's my question. The 4 people living in the basement, they're probably so used to it, they're like, what are we going to do now?
You know what? He's not there to take care of us.
Exactly. Why don't you go outside? Are you out of your mind? This guy was waiting on his hand and foot.
There's COVID out there.
In fact, I was bound by my hand and foot.
The NBA caught rigging games.
He said NBA rigging games.
Right.
Okay.
You give the mob 3 games a year in their pocket, you could walk down the street and just point to someone and say, I want him dead. That old lady, South Carolina, I want her dead. And they're dead. But you have such power. Why would you open your big mouth?
But Fred, and I'm curious what you think about this, because I was talking about this on my show. I do a little show called In Hot Water, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's over on Rumble. And I just got my YouTube back. So let me say this. Fuck you, YouTube. It's good to be back, but they basically had to give it back. It was taken for medical misinformation, and they basically gave it back to me saying, yeah, there's bigger fish to fry than you, and everyone's bitching, and we were wrong, and we lied. But this is... what I was talking about yesterday on my show, and I'd love to know your thoughts, both of you, because we're all old school. I grew up with a bookie, right? I grew up, I still have him, like, he's a buddy of mine in Philly. You can't make this up. And you bet 50 here, I'm like, I'd never get a gambling app because it's like Candy Crush. I'd bet $1 here, $1 there. You could pick up your phone at any moment and gamble. But here's the thing. You can pick up your phone at any moment and gamble. And here's the thing about it. They're tracking it. I don't know if you saw this, but before the NBA, over the summer, there were 2 pitchers on the Cleveland Guardians, see also Redskins debate, that over the course, first it was one, then 2 weeks later it was another that got suspended and investigated for gambling. And let me tell you, I can't remember their names. You could look it up. You're never going to see them again, because this is what happened. One guy, you come to find out, there was an inordinate amount of bets that came across, I like saying it wrong, the gambling app, right? And they reported it, and so they investigated the guy. Then 2 weeks later, I don't know if anyone saw this, another pitcher for the Indians, I guess that's why they, again, was suspended. This is what they were doing. They were going to you can bet in baseball anything. You can bet balls and strikes. So they got an inordinate amount of bets. It's amazing. On a ball being thrown on the first pitch of the second inning. Now, here's where it gets great. If you look at that pitch, Fred, Joey, like if I'm throwing it, if I'm throwing it right at this camera, instead of it going 60 feet 6 inches, it goes 40 feet, it bounces, and he literally throws it like that, spikes it, and the batter can't swing because the first guy, they threw it, and it was high and out, and the guy swung at it. It's like, we got to make sure it's so obvious, and then they see an inordinate amount of betting, and that's a lot of that happened with the NBA. Like, we got a ton of bets that this Billups guy is going to play the under in minutes. And you said it, Fred, back to you. That's where he's like, hey, if you want to make some money, I'm taking myself out of the game with a fake injury. So it's so much easier to spot now with the phones. So it has been going on since the beginning of time. And trust me, this sting, I would argue, and I'm asking now, do you think that the mob that does this all the time is going to be like, all right, we got to adapt again. We're really good at this. What kind of scheming Italians are if we can't get around this? Your thoughts, guys?
These guys are so stupid. I don't want to say a certain group of people are stupid.
The N and the B. Or is it the N's in the BA? Clever.
Yes.
Negroes. People.
Let me tell you something. Do you have to be told exactly how to fix the game? Are you that stupid?
They are.
That they have to now sit you down and go, look, you can't throw the ball 100 feet away from the plate on the second pitch. You have to
see it.
They're so stupid. The basketball one, they had this mobster on, and the guy was saying, it is so easy to fix the NBA that in order to get caught, you really got to be stupid.
Yep.
So all you got to do as one of the players is say, the bet is that I will score 15 points. Okay? Just bet under. That I won't. Don't tell anybody else. It's just the mob making the money. That's it.
Yeah.
And not all your friends who are on the app calling in. It's so stupid. So all you got to do is say, okay, in this game, the first quarter, I'm a little off. Okay, I only scored 4 points. The second quarter, you go to steal the ball, you collide with the guy, you start limping, and that's it. Everybody saw the collision, and you're out of the game. It's not that hard. But when you just stay in the game and just walk off the court and go, oh, I'm not feeling that good. And then there was $100 million worth of bets that you would not finish. They're so stupid, these people. They deserve to get caught.
Oh, I agree. And the only thing dumber than them, for lack of a better word, is anybody that gambles and like, well, then it's fixed. Anyone that will ever laid a bet and didn't realize it's fixed. A lot of it's fixed. If anyone that's like, oh, the NFL's fixed, then don't gamble on it. Okay? The NBA, then don't gamble on MLB, then don't gamble on it. Don't bitch. Anyone that really gambles does it for the rush. That's why we do it. But anyone that's complaining about this as a gambler, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry.